Hello? Ah. Welcome to the 188th Marietta College Commencement. A few announcements. After the ceremony begins in just a few moments, we ask you remain in your seats. And please take a moment right now, if you would, to turn off any devices, your phones or other devices, out of respect for our speakers and so everybody can enjoy the commencement celebration today. I know it's a wonderful time to celebrate, and many of you may want to take photos. We do have to the left, we have an area, a family photo area, where you can come up, take a photo, and then go back to your seat. Bruce Heflin Photography will be taking candid photos throughout the ceremony as well. If you do come forward to take photos, we ask that you keep the aisles clear so that people can come forward and go back to their seats easily. And I ask that you enjoy, and I thank you for sharing your students with us. It's been wonderful having them here.
Good afternoon. Please be seated. Graduates, faculty, administrators, trustees, families, friends, and guests, welcome. I am Kathleen Doherty, and I have the pleasure of serving as the 21st president of this wonderful institution. Today, we gather to celebrate the graduation of the 188th class from Marietta College. Graduates, as you celebrate with your family and friends, I hope you will pause to reflect on your time here at Marietta and the significant accomplishment that this moment represents. You got to this moment through dedication, hard work, and maybe a little bit of luck. You have put in the time and effort, studied hard, I hope, and performed well. You get to claim that as your own personal accomplishment. Well done. Surprisingly few people do what you have done. You have already set yourself apart in the world as an educated person. That is something of which you should be incredibly proud. And whatever comes in your life, this is an accomplishment that no one can take from you. Your education will change the trajectory of your life in ways you cannot begin to predict. But this moment is also about something more than individual accomplishment. Though you, in the end, get to claim your own success, very few of us achieve what we do entirely on our own. You are here because you have each put in the work, but also because you have had the supports to do so. I often talk about the deeply personal nature of a Marietta education. It's an education built on relationships with faculty, coaches, and staff who eventually become mentors and friends. They know you as individuals, and they know your hopes and dreams, your strengths and challenges, and they have been there to support you all the way through to this moment. They did not coddle you, because I know how hard they have pushed. But they can push as hard as they do because they are there to support you through the process. It's part of what makes me so proud to be at Marietta. That personal commitment to our students is part of what makes Marietta a home, and it is part of what makes me so very proud of each member of this community. But the relationships you've built are not just with faculty and staff. They are with each other. You have studied together, complained together, eaten together, lived together, socialized together, competed together, challenged one another, and most importantly, been there to support one another. You've built a community of scholars, and that's part of how you've all been successful. You've also had the support of your family and friends, whether your family is one of birth or one of choice. They've been there to provide all kinds of supports for you. Maybe they've provided a shoulder to cry on, heard your worries, and most importantly, were there to celebrate your successes. It's wonderful to see all those supporters here to celebrate with you today. I hope that what you've been gaining here at Marietta, in addition to a great education and the opportunity to grow in knowledge and skills, is an understanding of the importance of community and the realization that we all grow strong together. It's an honor today to celebrate the strength of our community that has allowed each of you to have tremendous personal success. Congratulations. Joining me today on the platform are Dr. Suzanne Walker, Provost and Dean of the Faculty, Dr. Richard Danford, Vice President for Student Life, Mary Korn, Chair of the college's Board of Trustees, and our honored guest, Charles Bart Gulong, This is a day of celebration, and we are delighted that you can all be with us today. Will you please stand and join in singing the college hymn, led by the Marietta College Concert Choir? The words are printed in your program. Thank you. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mary Korn, class of 1982, chair of the college's Board of Trustees, who will provide a greeting from the board.
President Doherty, trustee colleagues, distinguished faculty, honored guests, and members of class of 2025. As chair of the Board of Trustees and as a graduate of Marietta College, it's a distinct privilege to welcome and congratulate you on behalf of all members of the Board of Trustees. I commend you for the investment that you've made in your education and in doing so in your future. As trustees, it is our duty to protect and enable the mission of this great college. When we do this, we honor the generations of Marietta graduates who have come before you. And we do not act alone. I want to thank the faculty, the administrators of the college, who have made your education possible. As students, you have all had access to well-prepared, dedicated, and inspiring educators. On behalf of all of Marietta trustees, I thank them for their investment in you and in your achievements. For generations, graduates have left Marietta College and become contributors to and leaders of their families, of their places of work, and of their communities. Today, each of you joins this long blue line of distinguished Marietta College alumni who have brought honor to this college through their many accomplishments. My trustee colleagues and I wish you much success and happiness. Don't be strangers. We hope to see you here for many years to come. Congratulations once again.
Will Paige Dosick and Angelina Jane Dotson please come forward? Milo Parker Jewett taught at the Marietta Collegiate Institute and Marietta College from 1833 to 1848. Through his will, he established the Jewett Prize, which is awarded annually to seniors chosen in a public speaking competition. In the 19th century, every graduate of Marietta was required to give an oration as part of the commencement program. Today, we invite the Jewett Prize recipients of the class of 2025 to provide their remarks as part of this proceeding. Angelina, will you please come forward? Angelina Jane Dotson is from Elizabeth, West Virginia. Angelina is an environmental science major. Angelina, we would like to congratulate you as the winner of second place Jewett Prize and look forward to your oration. College was just one long sitcom. Congratulations. It's all yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Several years ago, our class arrived full of nerves and excitement, and the delusion that we would never pull an all-nighter to finish that 10-page paper. Now here we are, moments away from graduating, held together by way too much caffeine, catnaps between class, and if you're anything like me, an absurd amount of hours watching sitcoms. Sitcoms weren't just background noise after long days of studying in the library. They were a significant part of our college experience. They became our comfort, our escape, and sometimes our motivation to keep trucking through. Most importantly, they gave us a way to bond with our people. The Loft crew and New Girl taught us that even the weirdest, most chaotic friendships can turn into something that feels like home. The Dunder Mifflin Scranton branch showed us how to embrace the chaos in order to make our weeks bearable, even when the Wi-Fi crashes or the printers decide not to work for the 100th time. And at times, I'm sure we all had that 70s show style basement hangout. Perhaps not in a literal basement, but in that one dorm room that everyone deemed the community hangout spot, where everyone showed up unannounced and stayed way too late. Laughter is the best medicine, second to sleep, of course. I know for a fact that we've all had at least one moment where we wanted to pull a Michael Scott and yell, "I am running away from all my responsibilities, and it feels good!" Whether it's cracking up over a quote, a favorite scene, or a perfectly timed joke, laughter has kept our gears turning and helped us survive undergrad. During these stressful 4 years, laughter bonded us together, lifted us up, and at times was the only thing standing between us and a full-blown meltdown. We've had exams that felt like community's paintball episodes and countless moments worthy of our own imaginary camera zoom-ins, complete with dramatic music, of course. We've had group projects that mirrored the 99th precinct of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where one person does all the work, another completely disappears, and another channels Jake Peralta, exclaiming, "Cool, cool, 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 no doubt, no doubt, no doubt," while actively spiraling. And in order to survive this excruciatingly long last semester, many of us channeled our inner Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation, powering through with just sheer willpower. Okay, and maybe a few muffins from the cafe. Sitcoms weren't just there for comic relief. They taught us lessons in ways that our lectures couldn't. We all share the experience of trying and failing to be fully functioning adults, and sitcoms reminded us that the failure isn't the end of our story. It's an inevitable part of life, and sometimes things won't go according to plan at all. I'm sure many of you made the scary decisions to change your major or quit a sports team, unsure of your future. However, like Ted Mosby once said, if you're not scared, you're not taking a chance. And if you're not taking a chance, what the heck are you doing? Our moments of uncertainty or fear are where we found growth and where we began shaping our futures. Lastly, there's the importance of friendship, because if sitcoms taught us anything, it's that life isn't about pushing through it alone. Whether your group has the chosen family dynamic of Abbott Elementary, the beautiful madness of Modern Family, or the unwavering bonds of the Friends crew, these stories reflected our own. College wasn't all about grades. It was about the people who stuck by our sides through every
Good afternoon, everyone. On several occasions throughout the academic year, we honor and reward our students for achievements and contributions to the campus community. Today, we focus on our graduates. Let me call attention to the list of prizes and awards in today's program. These awards recognize outstanding performances by our graduates. You will note some graduates have cords around their necks. Gold cords are worn by bachelor's candidates who have completed their studies with distinction at one of 3 levels. Cum laude is reflected by a single gold cord and indicates a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 to 3.749. Those with 2 gold cords have earned a grade point average of 3.75 to 3.899, completing the degree magna cum laude. The bundle of 3 gold cords reflects graduating summa cum laude with a grade point average of 3.9 or higher. Cords in other colors represent membership in academic honor societies, and the colors represent the various academic disciplines. The program includes a list of graduating seniors in each of these academic honoraria. Students who have completed the Curricular Honors Program are identified by gold tassels on their mortarboards, while those who have completed Research Honors wear white cords around their necks. Students who have completed both of these are awarded an additional recognition of college honors. Please join me in recognizing these accomplishments. Will Shayna Allshouse please come forward? The Outstanding Faculty Award will be presented by Shayna Allshouse, who is the incoming president of the Marietta College Student Government Association.
Will Professor Ann Nicely please come to the stage? The Outstanding Faculty Award was established by Student Senate in 1984 and is presented each year to the member faculty who demonstrates excellence in teaching and college involvement. The winner is nominated by students and is selected by Student Government Association. Congratulations to this year's recipient of the Outstanding Faculty Award, Professor Ann Nicely. The William Bay Irvine Medal is named for our president from 1948 to 1963, a man noted for his selfless devotion to Marietta College. The medal is based on the qualities of leadership, scholarship, loyalty, and service to the college. This person was nominated and chosen by their peers based on the aforementioned criteria. It is my pleasure to announce the outstanding member of the class of 2025, Joshua Michael Radloff.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to all our award winners. We will now do the recognition of our top scholars. Will Mia Elizabeth Wiggs and Nathaniel Richard Stelfox please come forward? We would now like to recognize our valedictorian and salutatorian of the class of 2025. The hard work and determination of these students has won them the honor of becoming class valedictorian and salutatorian, and I am pleased to present to our top scholars a special medallion recognizing their academic achievement. The salutatorian of the 2025 graduating class is Nathaniel Richard Stelfox, with a cumulative GPA of 4.0. Nathaniel is from Dexter City, Ohio, is an English major and a creative writing minor. The valedictorian of the 2025 graduating class is Mia Elizabeth Wiggs, also with a cumulative GPA of 4.0. Mia is from Millersburg, Ohio, and is a psychology major with a leadership minor.
Recipients are announced. Audience, please once again reserve your applause until I recognize all of the award recipients. The Dr. Frank E. Adair Prize is given annually to the member of the graduating class who has been the most outstanding during their college career in building morale, esprit de corps, and loyalty to the ideas of the college, without particular relation to academic standing. The 2025 recipient of the Adair Prize is Gezakam Nurulin Alamara. The Alumni Association Community Service Award, established in 1975, is conferred on the graduating senior who has demonstrated continuing involvement as a leader and close participant in an activity deemed to be of value to the community or the area. This year's recipient is Maria Elizabeth Cipro. The Delta Upsilon Good Citizenship Award, established by the Marietta chapter of the Delta Upsilon fraternity, is given annually in honor of its members who gave their lives in World War II. The award is made to a member of the graduating class who has shown outstanding qualities to leadership, scholarship, character, and participation in extracurricular activities. The recipient of the Delta Upsilon Good Citizenship Award for 2025 is Alyssa Jalen Mays. The Asa Shin McCoy Award is given to a member of the graduating class who receives their degree summa cum laude or magna cum laude, and who is in the opinion of faculty council worthy of the honor. This year's Asa Shin McCoy Awards goes to Aditya Shaw. The Stephen N. and Margaret E. Schmitz Prize is given annually to the member of the graduating class who, regardless of academic standing, demonstrated the strongest desire to complete their education at Marietta College, despite severe obstacles of any nature. This year, we have 2 students being honored. The 2025 Schmitz Prize also goes to Aditya Shaw. Please join me in congratulating these students. I also want to take a moment to recognize a particular group of pioneers graduating today. I invite all of our graduates who are first-generation college students to stand. First gens, congratulations to each of you. The prestige of every college derives from its faculty. They set the standards for teaching and learning. They establish the expectations for their students and measure their progress towards achieving those expectations, which, when met, constitute eligibility for graduation. These are the individuals whom graduates of the college always ask about and whom our seniors always brag. Today, I would like us to recognize retiring and/or emeritus faculty. Will Professor Dave Freeman, Dr. Mark Sabicki, Professor Grace Johnson, and Dr. Dave McShavery please stand. Please join me. We congratulate and thank Dr. Dave Freeman, who has been at Marietta College for 33 years, Dr. Mark Sabicki, who has served Marietta College for 35 years before his retirement, Professor Grace Johnson, who has been at Marietta College for 36 years, and Dr. Dave McShavery, who's been at Marietta College also for 36 years. Let's give them one round of applause.
Congratulations to each of our award winners and to our faculty retirees. We will now have a special music presentation by the Marietta College Concert Choir.
please step forward to the right for the awarding of the honorary degree. Bart Boulon, you are an agent of change. With the clear vision and broad perspective of a liberal arts graduate, you bring a commitment to principles of goodness, morality, and integrity to all of your work. Your willingness to fight for what you know to be right has deeply impacted our understanding of equity, saved lives, and made the world a better place. At Marietta College, you majored in English and earned a teaching certificate, developing interests and honing skills that would ground your life's work. These interests and skills, coupled with your moral commitments and your entrepreneurial spirit, have led you to have a profound positive impact on the world. You began your career teaching and coaching young people, encouraging in them discipline and grit. You coached champions, inspiring them to success. In you, your students had a model of dedication and a champion in the fight for gender equity in athletics. Your work in support of Title IX legislation has influenced the lives of countless athletes and has transformed the landscape of athletic competition. Your creativity and entrepreneurial spirit led you to a new venture in which you used your expertise in video games to help facilitate human and computer interaction. Your knowledge and skills contributed to the development of the Space Shuttle's fly-by-wire system, a system that is now used widely in nearly every commercial airplane flown today. Your life has been characterized by your burning desire to make a difference and your unwillingness to back down from a challenge. As the co-founder and former chairman of the board at C-Medica Corporation, you helped bring to market QuickClot, a life-saving blood clotting product. Your product was quickly adopted by the United States Marines and the United States Navy. The United States Army, however, refused. Though you could have settled for your success with the Marines and the Navy, you took on a powerful foe, eventually winning a 6-year battle for what you knew was right. Your willingness to do so saved countless lives. Your life has become a true testament to the positive impact one individual, in partnership with others, can have on the world. Barton Boulon, your commitment to what you know to be good and just, and your unwillingness to stand down in the face of a challenge makes you a true pioneer. You are a credit to your alma mater. Will Dr. Debbie Egoff, Chair of the Faculty Council, please come forward to assist in awarding the honorary degree? So, Charles Barton Boulon, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Ohio and the trustees of Marietta College, the college community is proud to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters on this day, May 10th, 2025, with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. So now I invite Marietta Park pioneer Charles Barton to the lectern.
Thank you, President Dougherty. That was pretty much my entire speech. So I know there are many of you who would be very happy if I just said thank you, good night, and go enjoy your graduation. But that's not the deal. President Dougherty, platform party, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, alumni, parents, students, guests, and most of all, graduates. 55 years ago, I sat where you sit today, excited to get my diploma, a little hungover, listening to some other boring old gray-haired white guy, but extremely happy and anxious to get started on the next adventure. It was 1970, a time of extreme national turmoil, much like today. The Vietnam War was raging, the draft lottery had taken away many of my friends and classmates. And there were very few students on campus who did not oppose the Vietnam War. About 20 of us had decided to wear peace signs on the back of our gowns. It was a silent protest. Peace signs. It's just a dorky fashion statement today. But back then, in 1970, in a raging conflict where so many died, it was a silent cry for the war. Not much of a protest, but we felt the need to do something. All the endless speeches finally ended, and we crossed the stage for our diplomas. Back in my seat, I peeked in my folio, and in place of my diploma was a bill for overdue books, $2.43. The bursar was not about to surrender her last shot. I thought, how could this be? I never even spent that much time in the library. In fact, I don't remember ever taking the book out. But undeterred, I marched out to find my parents and bask in the glory of graduation. To my surprise, my highly conservative father had been made furious by my silent peace sign protest. So much so that he walked out mid-ceremony, loaded my sister and my mother into the car, and headed back to Connecticut. His own not-so-silent protest and my silent protest. What my father failed to realize was that I, just like you, had undergone a substantial change at Marietta, and my values would never be the same again. Mark Twain once said, "I've never let my schooling interfere with my education." Well, I learned a great deal in the classroom. I learned just as much in the dorm, the frat house, the rowing show, Gilman, and from my lifelong friends and classmates. The sum total of what I learned at Marietta and what I owe to Marietta can be captured in one line. I believe that on the day of graduation, I believe it even more today. The purpose of a well-lived life is to make this planet a better place because you passed through. On that graduation day, after 4 years of being free to fill my soul and contemplate ideas in the beautiful protection of the college environment, I was about to enter the real world. fulfilling your soul takes a far back seat to adulting, richer, and making a living, where surviving and getting ahead tends to scrub away all the wonderful beliefs you spent 4 years growing like a well-nurtured plant. But I promised myself at graduation day that the values I'd spent 4 years developing would stay with me forever. You can call that hippie-ish, but in fact, it should be an eternally human flesh. As Martin Luther King said in 1968, the year he spoke here at Marietta, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it tends toward justice. And it does. So, I did make it back to Connecticut after graduation. Next year, while getting my master's degree, I was interning at a high school in Connecticut and started a rowing program. 2 girls volunteered to be coxswains, and we started training, not realizing the controversy we created. We had girl coxswains on a boys' team. This caused a real panic in the administration. Girls on boys' teams are battled with the town and the state, and the school administration grew to a point that it was a very public issue, to the extreme that the news wires picked it up and carried it all over the country. And we were even interviewed on CBS News. We eventually won. I ended up on a trip to Washington, D.C. to assist in writing Title IX so that women would have equal rights in sports to men. The boys' team won the states, very rare for a first-year team. That success brought me to be recruited to be the head rowing coach at a liberal arts college in Connecticut, not unlike Marietta. Within 3 years, the women's rowing program was second in the nation, beating everyone with rivals. Our little college combined with Vesper Boat Club and won the right to go as the U.S. national team to the World Championships at Lucerne, Switzerland. Those women then formed the core of the 1976 bronze medal winning Olympic team. The president of the college was very impressed, and he offered me a lifetime job. Faculty housing, double the salary. I was 26 years old. I said no. Why? Because I wanted to make a difference in a bigger way. The offer made me see my whole life laid out before me. Job security, a nice steady life, maybe even a national championship. But I didn't want my story to end as a small college coach. No offense to the small college coach. That fall, I got a position as dean of students at another small college in Southampton, New York. But after the soul-filling job of coaching, administration neither filled my ambition nor filled my soul. I realized that I wanted to create something new. I no longer wanted a paycheck with someone else's name on it. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Video games were the hot item then. I partnered with an electronics guy and we formed a video game company. Unhappy with the simplistic quality of game controllers at the time, we started designing our own. A few years later, I was flying to Houston to see a friend, upgraded by chance to first class. My seatmate asked me what I did. I told him I designed game controllers. He said, "Wow, that's perfect. I'm the director of human flight for NASA." We have been trying to find a way to help the pilot communicate with the computer because the space shuttle is a rock. It's impossible for a human to fly it. The computer has to do flying. To that point, Even the mouse had not been invented. Game decoders were far more advanced and far more technical than anything NASA had to offer. I was hired on the spot. I consulted on the creation of what is now in virtually every commercial airliner in the country, called the fly-by-wire system. And it did fly the space shuttle. Then I had years of stops and starts. I was in the restaurant business in the swanky Hamptons. I flipped houses. I sold and delivered yachts. I raced sailboats professionally. I made a living. I had a lot of friends. I had some great adventures. But as this went on for about 15 years, my soul was starved. I no longer was moving myself or the planet forward. Everything changed when my daughter was born. I was well into my 40s and realized I couldn't bring her up in the Hamptons. The Hamptons are a Disney World for very wealthy adults. Kids grow up there surrounded by incredible wealth, but they never see the hard work that achieves that wealth. Many kids think that when they get their driver's license, they check a box that says Mercedes, Jaguar, BMW, and they're issued one with their license. We moved back to Connecticut. But I had no job, a new marriage, an infant. I was 50 years old. No one would hire a 50-year-old entrepreneur with almost no CV. After a very rough year of searching and battling self-doubt, I found myself at a pizza parlor, meeting with the only person who would return my phone call. His name was Frank Herson. He had a small shop where he made oxygen and nitrogen generators. The machines were great, but he wasn't great at selling them. The company hadn't grown in 15 years. There were months he couldn't pay the rent. He was a great scientist, but not a salesman. I became the only salesperson in the company and flew all over the country. I knew that his machines were amazing, groundbreaking, and worked very well. In 3 years, we went from a gross of $650,000 to $15 million in annual sales. I was blessed by the product. I became the only salesperson in our field to achieve that lofty goal. Then Frank told me he had a mineral we used to make oxygen in our machines, and he had discovered that it was capable of clotting blood. I thought he was crazy. But I thought he was crazy when I met him. He was a genius. How the hell could a ground up rock clot blood? But no, Frank said he'd tried it out 15 years before, and he'd shown it worked. How did he do that? He'd gone to a pet store, bought a live mouse, took it to his basement workshop, and while his wife yelled at him from the kitchen to not hurt the mouse, made a small cut, applied the product, the bleeding stopped, and the wound closed instantly. And for those of you who I know are very upset right now, the mouse is now living in a Naples, Florida retirement community. He's playing golf and teaching pickleball. Then 2001 came and 9/11 happened. We were selling our oxygen generators to the military. My contact in the Marines was an amazing man. Master Chief Tom Eagles. What a name, Tom Eagles for a Marine. He was a Navy corpsman, the most highly decorated corpsman in the history of the Navy. having served 6 tours in Vietnam, winning 3 Silver Stars, 4 Purple Hearts, the Croix de Guerre from the French government, and he was the only non-pilot to win the Distinguished Flying Cross. He was flying back to an aid station with a load of wounded, and the pilot and co-pilot were both killed in the helicopter. He took the controls and landed the helicopter. Tom and I became very friendly. One day he was complaining that he had to run a study of blood clotting agents. A waste of time for him because there was just no such thing, and all the products failed every study. I mentioned we had an agent, and he reeled back. Bart, you're a good guy. Don't become one of those guys who claims he has a solution for every problem in the military. I hate those guys. I countered, Tom, I don't even know if it works. Frank said it works, and he's crazy. He put us in trial against 6 other products, all from the highest tech, biggest drug companies. The trial was done by a Harvard surgeon. The subjects were pigs. The pigs are not in Florida. Ours was the only product that was completely successful with 0 swine deaths after a very severe transection of the femoral vein and artery. 100% survival. The second best product achieved a 40% survival. That was plain cotton dogs. 2 months after the trial, we had emergency FDA clearance. Not long after that, we were in Iraq and Afghanistan. 4 months after that, the DoD said the product, which I didn't pick for, had saved 19 warriors' lives. Soon after that, more than 2 people. We were highly successful. The Marines loved our product. Unfortunately, the Army did not. The Army happened to have their own product. Their chosen product just happened to be from a company that was owned by a retired Army medical corps colonel. The Army manipulated the science to favor their product made from shrimp shells. They spent $250 million to try to make it work. The medical brass just couldn't stand the idea of 2 unknown guys outfoxing them, so they went to the extreme and actually outlawed the use of wicklow. They had to figure it out, a centuries-old problem, never solved before, solved in a dusty little workshop with a guy that most people thought was crazy. It was all Frank's visionary genius. All our product did was sift molecules physically by size. Platelet molecules in blood are relatively large, while water molecules are very small and simple. The mineral product simply absorbed the smaller water molecules and left the platelet molecules, like a very selective sponge. This created a huge concentration of platelets and a clot formed. I needed Frank's genius to solve the problem. Frank needed someone like me to be able to explain his vision. I was attacked for 6 years by the Army. It became very personal, and it cost me a lot. But Frank and I simply refused to give up. We were on a mission to save lives, and for us, giving up would have been the same as refusing to stop and help a drowning person. Even worse, instead of our product, the Army invested another $200 billion in 2 other products. One completely ineffective, the other dangerous, that actually caused the death of multiple warriors. This precipitated a Department of Justice lawsuit against both the Army brass and against the manufacturer of a dangerous product. The DOJ won. Multiple Army doctors were called to defend their actions on the floor of Congress. By 2008, Quick-Lot had brought home many wounded Marines, and the Army surrendered. In fact, in an act of great contrition and hypocrisy, the Army named Quick-Lot the Army's best invention of the year 2008. It was deployed as the hemostatic agent of choice for every soldier, sailor, and Marine. It can be found now in every military first aid kit and in the kits of many first responders and police around the country. Quick-Lot has been used at and saved multiple lives at many mass casualty events, such as school shootings and even terrorist attacks. In fact, the Surgeon General announced 5 years ago that Quick-Lot should be carried in every motor vehicle, since 36,000 people a year still lead to death in traffic accidents. Here's the real result, the statistical legacy of what Quick-Lot, Tom Eagles, the U.S. Marines, and Frank Hershey have done. During the Crimean War, 26% of all those, stay with me, 26% of all those who died on the battlefield led to this. As medical research advanced, once a soldier was off the battlefield, their chances of survival went from 20% to 99%. But on the battlefield was a different story. That same 26% existed for Civil War, World War I and II, Korea, and even Vietnam. 26% of those killed in action led to death. In Iraq and Afghanistan, that figure was reduced by Quick-Lot to 11%. They're only numbers, but inside those numbers are an awful lot of parents and warriors and mothers and fathers and sons and daughters and wives. The story of Quick-Lot is chronicled in the book In the Blood by Charles Barber. In the Blood has received rave reviews from the likes of the Wall Street Journal, Amazon Editors Pick, and a finalist for the PEN America Literary Science Writing Award. Oscar-nominated producers have optioned it for a movie, hired a director, the screenplay is written and casting has begun. And now the inevitable direct advice. Let today be your true commencement, your true beginning, the birth of your curiosity and your pure pleasure of learning. For 4 years, tests, quizzes, grades, papers, and finals have forced you to forego the pure pleasure of learning for its own sake. But now you're only learning for yourself. I took from my liberal arts degree a love of learning that allowed me to master technical and scientific fields I was not trained for. Philosophy and English gave me critical thinking and language skills to explain and sell our life-saving product. So when people tell you a liberal arts education is outdated and no longer relevant, just have patience and faith, because your own story will prove them wrong. And don't get trapped by your diplomas. I know many 40-year-old doctors who are very unhappy because they're trapped. Never let your education keep you in a place that doesn't fill your soul. Treat every job as a training program for the next one. And always be looking for what you want to do next for your soul. Earl Mayman a name you should know if you know the history of Marietta, said, brain surgery. Brain surgery. There's so much incompetence in the world that the only job I won't take cold is a brain surgeon. And that's an exaggeration for sure. But the point is valid. Take the risk. Trust yourself. Take the opportunity. Face down and overcome your own doubts and insecurities. And finally, never be fooled into thinking for 1 second that your big company employer cares at all about you and will protect your position. Keep your options open. As Laura Bato's cousin, Yogi Berra, once said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Above all, this is your time. Congratulations. If nothing else, remember this. Making a living feeds your ambition, but don't forget to feed your soul. So don't just make a living. Make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today and for sharing your story with us. You are a true inspiration, and we are proud that you are a pioneer. Now, for the moment that you've all been waiting for, it's the time for the granting of your degrees. Will Provost Walker please come forward to the side podium?
Dr. Ryan May and Dr. Mark Spiffy, please come forward. Drs. May and Spiffy will be putting our Masters of Arts candidates. Graduates, in just a few moments, faculty marshals will begin to lead you forward by degree. As your name is read, you will greet the president, who will present you a diploma inscribed with your name, indicating academic honors earned, signed by the proper officials, and bearing the Great Seal of Marietta College. After you greet the president, please exit the stage and follow the arrows for a cap and gown photo before returning to your seat. Will the candidates for the degree of Masters of Arts in Psychology please rise? President Doherty, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of the Masters of Arts in Psychology, and to certify that they have or will soon fulfill the required conditions of residence, attendance, and scholarship, and that they are worthy to take their places in the illustrious company of Marietta alumni.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Ohio and the Board of Trustees of Marietta College, I confer upon those who fulfill all requirements as certified by the faculty of Marietta College the degree of Master of Arts in Psychology, with all the ancient rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto pertaining, and welcome you into the company of Educated Persons.
Would the marshals now bring forward our Master of Arts candidates in psychology for presentation of diplomas? Hope Alexis Adams. Maggie Lee Fellers. Kyle Allen Fleshman. Rachel Elizabeth Williams. Addison L. Holcomb. Dimmy Ray Mills. Would the marshals now bring forward will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? And there you are. You are already arose. President Doherty, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts to certify that they have, or will soon, fulfill the required conditions of residence, attendance, and scholarship, and that they are worthy to take their place in the illustrious company of Marietta alumni.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Ohio and the Board of Trustees of Marietta College, I confer upon those who fulfill all requirements as certified by the faculty of Marietta College the degree Bachelor of Arts with all the ancient rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining, and welcome you into the company of educated persons.
Would the marshals now bring forward our Bachelor of Arts graduates for the presentation of diplomas? Deshaun Samuel David Adams. Paige Jean Miracle Adams. Taylor Denise Airy. Alexandra Lynn Armour. Kristen Nicole Atkinson. Joseph N. Backus. Alexandria Renee Beckett. Nathan Thomas Best. Tanner Isaac Bills. Ryan Joseph Balls. Rachel E. Baroda. Kaylee Ray Booth. Ella Patricia Boyer. Emma G. Bradley. Cody Renee Brenner. Emily Catherine Burchette. Lainey Rose Carpenter. Jordan Michaela Chaw. Alexis D. Christie. Wade Michael Chewich. Maria Elizabeth Sikro. Derek Todd Klein. Justin J. Collins. Paige Dosick. Raider Garrett Easton. Kira Elizabeth Eaton. Emma Lou Agley. Amira L. Basari. Sophie Elise Evans. Emma Grace Berman. Virginia Elizabeth Marie Fielder. Jillian Scott Fellows. Savannah Florence Flushy. David Andrew Frazier.
That's my boy!
Chase Patrick Franklin. Evan Lee Gandy. Kendall E. Gills. Shaylin Marie Glidden. Arista Jewel Ward. Allison Rose Wake. Reginald Floyd Rayek. Riley Marie Graziani. Anna Green. Jacob Lowell Guberle. Taj Hader. Harley Mackenzie Hanks. Nafisa Hawada. Mackenzie Harshberger. Nicholas Scott Hart. Hikaru Hasagawa. Forrest Gregory Havanas. Adlin Jean Hill. Riley Page Holman. Marcus Craig Ingram. Brett Michael Johnson. Kazuo Kashima. Ava Marie Kazmarasek. Maruka Kumuro. Caitlin Jane Knowles. Angeline Marie Contour. Macy Alexandria Kuhn. Kylie Marie Kozel. Zachary Matthew Lane. Nathan J. Lang. Haley R. Lanham. Jacqueline Claire Lauer. McKinney Joseph Laurie. Chase Anthony Lawrence. Colton Austin Lawrence. Brianna Lynn LePerry. Keyshawn Eugene Madlock. Cale Robert McGill. Ryan Arden McGill. Jack Corbin Maine. Zachary A. Marzette. Sydney Alexandria Matches. Abigail Irene May. Quincy Marie McCord. Carter Nicole McCorkle. Carson William Meckler. Ben Stephen Millard. Isaiah David Mitchell. Grant Patrick Moore. Mackenzie Daniela Moran. Peyton Elizabeth Mullen. Sophia Jean Murray. Nathaniel David Neal. Tucker James Nelson. Kelly Rose Neiswanger. Madison Maria Nochesi. Corey Robert Oakes. Stephanie Michelle Elton. Genevieve Kirsten Olinsky. Brady Michael Unucci. Arabella N. Parsons. Allison Nicole Pasco. Miranda Johnny Payne. Sydney May Phillips. Dominique C. Phillips Moody. Isabel Christian Lee Yao Holy. Lillian Faith Posty. Alexandra Ramirez Garcia. Anna Elizabeth Rupert. Caleb Joseph Reynolds. Robert Cole Freeman. Thomas Riffle. Elizabeth Morgan Broderick. Catherine Elizabeth Rufner. Brady Russell. Danielle R. Ruza. Chance Lee Ryan. Abigail Maria Scott. Allie Elizabeth Shea. Andrew Robert Shapley. Hannah Ray Shreves. John Robert Sierpatowski. Mia Catherine Silva. Jacob Christopher Smith. Jenna Nicole Smith. Dawson Snyder. Emery Ann Spittler. Allison Nicole Stahl. Esther Catherine Starner. Nathaniel Richard Stelfox. Jacob Glenn Stern. Jenna Stewart. Wade Lambert Stout. Kylie Beth Strader. Claire E. Strickland. Lauren Alexis Templeton. Eric D. Thurman. Amelia M. Timko. Paige Mackenzie Olson. Jeremy Richard Tinelli. Lydia Elizabeth Bach. Frank Louis Wagenfield. Seth Philip Wallace. Joshua Thomas Walters. Abigail Rosalind Wardlow. Alexis Christine Wasner. Sarah Elizabeth Watson. Evan M. Wells. Clarissa Ann Westphal. Jillian Joanne White. Jonathan Dale White. Hayden Scott Wiggers. Mia Elizabeth Wiggs. Lorena Mae Williams. Ian Michael Onehouse. Sydney Lauren Wright. Ellie Marie Yater. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts please rise? President Doherty, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts and certify that they have or will soon fulfill required conditions of residence, attendance, and scholarship, and that they are worthy to take their place in the illustrious company of Marietta alumni.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Ohio and the Board of Trustees of Marietta College, I confer upon those who fulfill all requirements as certified by the faculty of Marietta College the degree Bachelor of Fine Arts with all the ancient rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining, and welcome you into the company of educated persons.
Would the marshals now bring forward our fine arts graduate for the presentation of diploma. Douglas Shannon Bungard. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Music please rise? President Doherty, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Music and to certify that they have or will soon fulfill the required conditions of residence, attendance, and scholarship, and that they are worthy to take their place in the illustrious company of Marietta alumni.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Ohio and the Board of Trustees of Marietta College, I confer upon those who fulfill all requirements as certified by the faculty of Marietta College the degree of Bachelor of Music, with all the ancient rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining, and welcome you into the company of educated persons.
Will the candidates please come forward? Bryn Denise Carter. Annabelle Catherine Malone. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? President Doherty, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and to certify that they will have or soon fulfill the required conditions of residence, attendance, and scholarship, and that they are worthy to take their place in the illustrious company of Marietta alumni.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Ohio and the Board of Trustees of Marietta College, I confer upon those who fulfill all requirements as certified by the faculty of Marietta College the degree of Bachelor of Science, with all of the ancient rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining, and welcome you into the company of educated persons.
Would the marshals now bring forward our Bachelor of Science graduates for the presentation of their diplomas? Gesahagen Neuroling Alan Rao. Austin James Amash. Ethan Jacob Anderson. Iris Barley Atkins. Abriana Marie Bookman. Shaylin Mackenzie Bradford. Ayla Marie Knudsen. Lacey Leanne Klein. Jacob William Conrad. Madeline R. Crawford. Aaron Michael Crum. Director. Angelina Jane Dodson. Brianne Danielle Dudley. Lauren Mackenzie Moran. Raya Hyder. Isabel Macy Hank. Jack Samuel Hare. Emma Michael Cronin-Bitter. Kaylin Marie Lowe. Emma G. Martin. Alyssa Jalen Mays. Ali Santiago Perez Nunez. Luke Daniel Price. Joshua Michael Radloff. Logan Matthew Ratliff. Elena Claire Ricker. Jacob Nicholas Rocky. Elizabeth Grace Schnee. Aditya Shaw. Taylor Elizabeth Sloan. Brooke Lauren Smith. Lillian Cecile Sorensen. Logan W. Stanley. Michaela Rose Stischuk. Vanessa Mae Stern. Colin Michael Walters. Ashley Jane Ward. Ava Marie Wright. Zachary Yarwood. Lucas James Young. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Engineering please rise? President Doherty, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science of Petroleum Engineering, and to certify that they have, or will soon, fulfill the required conditions of residence, attendance, and scholarship, and that they are worthy to take their place in the illustrious company of Marietta alumni.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Ohio and the Board of Trustees of Marietta College, I confer upon those who fulfill all requirements, as certified by the faculty of Marietta College, the degree of Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Engineering, with all the ancient rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining, and welcome you into the company of educated persons.
Will the marshals please bring forward our Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Engineering graduates for the presentation of their diplomas? Logan Kyle Brookover. George Faza. Carson Marie Hallbaum. Nicholas Peter Coomer. Trevor Matola McNeil. Logan Michael Podgorski. Paige Marie Schindler. Wade Garrett Smith. Benjamin Joseph Saw. Braden Cole Zemer.
Will the graduates please stand and be recognized one more time as a group? We have one more student getting a photo. I'm not going on until everybody's done. Is that everyone? Okay. We will now symbolize the awarding of these degrees with the traditional turning of the tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Please go ahead and turn the tassel. give your parents, friends, and family a round of applause for their support and encouragement during this year. Members of the class of 2025, you leave Marietta an educated person. Congratulations. You may be seated. The first time I ever spoke with Bart Boulon, he described to me something of his Marietta experience. In doing so, he described a kind of magic that occurs at Marietta. That was his word, magic. And it stuck with me. It seemed to me a fitting way of describing what happens in a student's time here. The pieces start to fall together, they find their own path, they grow up, and they grow into their own talents and abilities. One of the great pleasures of being here at Marietta is getting to take part in that growth, in that little bit of magic that occurs as you find your way and develop into educated, capable, and thoughtful adults. It is a delight to see those capable adults walk across the stage. I hope for you, as you go out into the world, the experience you've had here and the work you've done here are the foundations for many future successes. You'll always be a pioneer, and we'll always be glad to welcome you home. We could not be more proud of you. Will everyone now please rise as the Marietta College Concert Choir sings the Marietta College alma mater, Time on Marietta. Will you please remain at your seats until the platform party, trustees, faculty, and students recess outside? Congratulations, graduates, and welcome to the Long Blue Line. We're so glad that you are now members of the Longwood Line.
Thank you.